Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner. This is episode number 290, and we're going to be talking about the Galileo 7 and also land the Shuttlecraft Galileo Kickstarter. Tonight with me is my very special guest. He is a maker extraordinaire by all means, and he is my friend, and he is the one and only Mr. Dave Harvey. Dave.
Hey, man. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Absolutely, Dave. Thanks for coming on the show. And I'm very excited about, always excited to talk Star Trek. So, and there's a lot to talk about.
Me too, somehow. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So how you doing tonight? All right?
Great. It's exciting times, you know, it really is. This is a big deal we're going to talk about tonight, I think, you know.
It really, really is. I mean, the fact that the fact that Star Trek is turning 60 years old this year, in the sense that when the series premiered back on NBC, that just, I don't know, that in itself just kind of like weirds me out.
Yeah. It's hard to believe we were little kids when we first saw it and fell in love. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, it's an amazing year, 60th anniversary. This whole thing with the original shuttlecraft, a lot of things. Yeah, there's just a lot. It's super fun. Yeah, really is. Yeah.
So it'll be really cool to talk about. So yeah, so with everything that's happening with the shuttlecraft, I was thinking, you know what, we could talk about the show, and then also then just kind of like go into everything that's going on with the shuttlecraft. And to say that there's a lot going on, there definitely is. And I'm just excited. Again, I can't say how excited I am to talk about it. So here we go.
Me too. We've been working on it for quite a while. It's great to finally be able to like talk to everybody about what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I want to welcome some of the viewers that are out there. I see them out there. Randy Lee is joining us from Wisconsin. Hey, Randy. He said, okay, ready for the show with a couple of brewskis.
Excellent.
Good to see you out there, Randy. And Martin is joining us from New York. Welcome, Martin. He's saying hello to us. And Jeff Rubel is, I think Jeff is attempting to sing, and he's joining us from Utah, and he's saying, Galileo, Galileo. And then he said, nothing really matters but me. Hey, guys. I love that song. Hey, Mary Beth's out there. Hey, MB. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Woo! Mary
Beth is out there. And I also see May is joining us from Canada. Welcome, May. Great to see you out there. And Mary Beth is saying this is a really exciting deal. I can't wait for Dave to tell you all about it. Absolutely. Very, very cool. And hey, Sherry's out there. My wife Sherry's out there. She's joining us from Alpha. Actually, she's in Easton, Pennsylvania right now. Hey, hon. And she likes your shirt, Dave. she
I had to come in and, you know, be part of the thing, you know. Excellent.
Yeah. Dave's got the tie-dye going on. Oh, that's right, Martin. I forgot you are in England. That's right. Enjoy your vacation. And thanks for joining us at such a late hour, because in England right now, in the UK, it's probably close to 12:15, so in the morning.
Yeah, right.
So I think we got all hands on deck, and and as more people come in, we'll welcome them too. So
cool.
So Dave, in regards to the episode, do you have recollections of when you first saw this, or your thoughts about it?
I mean, come on. Dude. I mean, giants throwing giant boulders onto the shuttle. I mean, I don't know when it was when I was a kid and saw it, but that was just like, they were frightening, and it was a big deal. I certainly remember. I think I can remember the first time, but I was little.
Yeah.
We had a black and white TV, and I had no idea that Star Trek was in color, you know, and I saw it in black and white first. And so, that the blasting image from I think must be the first time, was the whole boulder on the roof of the shuttle thing, you know.
Yeah.
Made a big impression on me.
No, I know, especially as kids, right? When we were saying this, I mean, I I saw this in the 70s for the first time. And I actually have a recollection of being over a friend's house in the apartment complex. Actually, my parents still live there, and watching it, and Spock, having that boulder, hit him, right into the legs, and then they're running after him. They're trying to get him into the ship, and I just have that distinct memory of having watched it one of the times then, and that would have been probably like around 1977, and
Sure.
so it would have been out, literally the show was out for what, 10 years at that point in time, and I think I had seen it before then too, but that's one of the memories, that distinct memory.
When did it go into syndication? Do you know?
It was in the 70s. It would have definitely been, I think, around 72, 73.
Somebody's saying 73.
Yeah, John's saying 73. Yeah, that's about the time that I started watching Trek. It was 72, 73.
Yeah, I may have seen some when it was actually on, but I would have been quite young. And I definitely watched it when it was in syndication and knew when to turn it on, So like 73 probably is when I saw it, when it really started playing. 73, 74. Yeah.
Right.
Amazing. Probably like 9 or 10 years old, Great memories, right?
Oh my God. So many of them too. Sherry said, so much fun when we went to see the Galileo on the Intrepid in New York City. Yes. So want to put that out there, folks. If you had the opportunity, and this is an opportunity that did not come along very often, and this was 10 years ago, and actually I think we saw it in December. I think it was there in September to December of 2016.
2016, was it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So in regards to that, if you actually had the opportunity to see it, and then basically it was gone after that. So a lot of good things are happening in Ticonderoga.
Oh, I love Mary Beth's comment with Don Marshall and getting to be his assistant at the first Ticonderoga. Oh man, I would have loved to have met him. I wasn't at the first one; I was at the second one, and I am very sad to have missed that.
He was such a nice guy. I'm with you on that, Mary Beth. And actually, I dug up I was going through my photos today, and I actually was lucky enough to get a photo with him, and just such a nice guy.
So good. It is so great. Yeah. Mary Beth, that's awesome.
That is awesome that you were
legendary.
And sadly, he passed away not too long after that too.
Yeah. Right.
He wasn't.
Yeah. I made sure I got to the second Ticonderoga after I read about everything with the first. I made a beeline to be there.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It really was. He seems like he would be a really great guy. Yeah, it's so cool you guys got to meet him. Almost every Trek person you get to meet in person, it's almost always super cool. You always turn out to be these great people in addition to your heroes.
Exactly. Who was actually? Here's a question, Dave, and I'm digressing, and we do that on the show all the time. So, who was your first Star Trek actor that you met? Any recollections?
Oh yeah, sure. We went to my brother and I went to a very early Star Trek convention in Dallas, Texas, and it would have been in the 70s. And we met Grace Lee Whitney. Would have been, I think, the first.
Nice.
Yeah, we were completely smitten, 100%. Yeah, and my brother took the picture that I took of him with her and had it put on a T-shirt so he could wear it, And we were really proud of that moment. So I'm pretty sure that was the first one, and then we met some others at the same convention as it happened again over the years. Yeah.
Right.
How about you, man? What about you?
My the first actor that I met at a Star Trek convention was actually Mark Leonard. And it was in 1986. Yeah, it was in 86. And I was at, it was in right near Rutgers, because it was in New Brunswick, New Jersey. There was a convention. It was a creation convention too. And it was actually my first Star Trek con. And I was actually getting ready to leave, and I went into the elevator, and, I kind of walked in and I had my head down, and I looked up and I made eye contact with him. And I was like, oh my God, this is like Mark Leonard. And granted, I was probably like I was like 20 years old, and I'm like looking at him, and he's looking at me, and he's like, I know you know who I am, kind of deal going on.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to stay really composed and try not to be that type of fan. And then I just was like, so are you going to be in New York? I said hi to him, and then he said hello, and then I said, are you going to be in New York City for a while? And then he looked at me like,
yeah. I don't want to tell you, right? Yeah.
and he smiled, and then he was like, yeah, I'm going to be in New York. And then I just said, well, it's really nice to meet you. And I said, will you be doing, autographs? And then he said he would be doing autographs later. And then I was going to be leaving, but that he was the first, and that always stuck with me. And very nice.
Yeah, that is super. That's a great one. He was amazing. Yeah, that's very cool. Wow, I like that one. Yeah. On the wall behind me and up above it, those are all my original autographs from the original series.
Yeah. Wow, very nice collection.
It's a bunch of them. Yeah, it goes up higher. I like them out where I can see them. It means something to me that I personally met each of them, even if we, And I finally was like, no, they're all going out on the wall, man, where you can see them every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
I want to say hi to Henry. Henry's out there. He's saying hi, Dave and Roy. And Tracy is saying, is there also? So want to say hello. And Henry said he was awesome. Don Marshall reminded me so much of my dad. Even the voice was strikingly similar.
Yeah, that's cool. Getting to meet some of these people in person has been just stunning. And really, and the stuff that's happened out at the Star Trek studio tour because of that has been kind of outrageous, right? Super fun. Yeah, very lucky. So Galileo 7, with those giant spears and the whole shuttlecraft thing, I think, it probably was one of my early favorites because it was so dreamy with the whole thing of like being stranded on the shuttle and the whole live or die thing, and who's going to get thrown off so somebody else can leave, and Spock being in charge and having, it was, I do think it was one of my favorites early on, and getting to see the shuttle in detail like that was just captivating as a kid, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. And especially for the first time. Now, the one interesting thing is I did not know about this episode, and that's what always is the fun of doing these shows is diving deep, researching, learning new things. And one thing I found out about this episode, which I had no clue about, was that the writer, when he was writing this, actually was intending this to be like a sci-fi version of a 1939 movie called The Five Came Back. And it's about a transatlantic flight that essentially crashes like near the Amazon, and the survivors, I think 12 of them have to deal with headhunters and they're basically fighting for their lives. And interesting enough, one of the stars in the film was Lucille Ball. Talk about Star Trek connections, right? As far as everything.
Yeah. Wow. And so we got to find this thing and watch it,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to watch it.
So I'm and this is like what? This is 1939. So you're talking this is like an 87-year-old 87-year-old movie, which is
that's an old piece of film. That is a crazy thing. How the heck did you find this out? Where did you come across this gem?
I did some digging in the online, and then also I tapped into some of my Star Trek books, and I was very
interesting. Yeah. Well, that would be fun to watch and see what it's like. I would like that. That's cool. So with the episode itself, getting to see, I just rewatched it this afternoon because we were coming on, and it had been a little bit since I seen it. And the crazy thing was like having just like touched and gotten into the Galileo myself, right? and then getting to see the whole thing. And of course, they're mixing back and forth between the interior set piece and the stage piece. But it kind of sent me chills to realize I had been just, hanging out with the real thing. Yeah, it was crazy.
Now that's got to be really kind of surreal, right?
Yeah, and you understand it a lot better because you've been up close to it and details that are on it, and of course, as what we do, and then looking at it in terms of accuracy and how it was restored, and it had different looks. Sometimes there were some different things on it in different episodes, so just absorbing all of that and absorbing the interior set was super fun too. That's just crazy. Yeah.
Well, I have some screenshots that I'll share with everybody, and I'll share with so the audience, just to kind of refresh their memories on this. So in terms of this episode, really, the shuttlecraft, the Galileo, is really like the main attraction.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of doing something totally different. Now, when this episode was actually being, conceived and everything, I was reading too, like Robert Justman, he was, the associate producer. His big thing too was keeping the show on budget. I mean, can you imagine trying to do a weekly series and you're really trying to keep everything flowing in regards to that? And that was definitely a constraint. So they would actually have to construct the set, the ship, and they were going to need an exterior, and they were going to need also the interior for it, not to mention the special opticals that are going to go along with it. So really, this specific episode had a lot of cost associated with it, and if it was going to be done, it would be very special. One of the things I did read about is in the earlier draft, it was originally conceived to have Kirk be going on the shuttlecraft and not Spock. And then as there were rewrites that were done and different drafts, that kind of morphed and changed. And that's where it became more of a Spock story in that sense, where Spock's character was dealing with, his first command and his scenario. Then they also had the adding the whole thing with the commissioner, the Galactic commissioner, High Commissioner Ferris, that Kirk was dealing with. And then also the issue with the transporters, the being out and trying to rescue the Galileo 7, the 7 crew members. So all of that was kind of playing into it.
Yeah, the whole Spock thing, it's hard to imagine the episode without that conflict between his logic and the command of people, emotional humans. It was such a great layer of the episode. It's hard for me to imagine it with Captain Kirk. I'm sure it would have been great. It would have just been really different.
It would have been so different. I totally agree.
Yeah.
The original writer for this episode was actually Oliver Crawford, and he had written episodes of The Wild Wild West. He had done Voyage to Bottom of the Sea, The Outer Limits, and then he worked on the screenplay. So he was the writer of the story and then the screenplay. But then they also brought in Simon Winselberg, who many people may know from his screen credits. Also, he was a writer for Lost in Space. And sometimes he would go by the name of S. Bar David, kind of like what Harlan Ellison would do when he wasn't so happy, or maybe he was frustrated, and he would use the pen name of what was it, Bird? I forget, and it was almost like, he was given the bird, so to speak. But anyway, that was with that. And then the director was Robert Gist. And interesting with him, this was his one time that he was directing, and this was the only time that he actually directed a Star Trek episode. And he was an actor turned director. He had worked, his first film was Miracle on 34th Street. And then he also was on Broadway as well. And he got involved in directing through Blake Edwards when he was in Operation Petticoat. So that was kind of that. But I'm going to move ahead and show some of these photos of the concept art that we had for the
Yeah,
Shuttlecraft.
this stuff's great. It's so fun, you know.
Let me just bring that up. So,
Matt Jeffries drawings, is that what you're bringing up?
yeah, just to share with the audience out there.
Yeah.
Here we go. These are so cool.
Sexy. Look at that. Yeah, gorgeous. So the original drawings were well, that's weird. I wonder why Sharon can't see your podcast on YouTube, but it should be there.
Yeah, we are broadcasting. Let me double check. Hold on one second. Bear with me one moment. We're having tech issues with YouTube. I apologize. Let's see. Tech issues is this show's middle name, unfortunately.
Yeah, nope. She's saying nothing on YouTube.
Yeah, it's there.
It's there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're there. I just double checked.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
Where else could she go? On Facebook?
Yeah, Shari said that she couldn't get there. I don't know why. Yeah, Facebook. And it's under Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner.
Thank you. I've got somebody like jonesing to come in. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll have to look into that later. Sorry about that, folks.
Well, I'll get her to Facebook. Sorry, go ahead.
No, anyway, yeah, showing some of the original construction photos. Now, what was really cool is what had helped the production was that AMT wanted to be able to distribute the Enterprise model back when the show was coming out, and the Star Trek hadn't even been released, and they were, I think, guaranteed up to about 16 episodes at that time. And what happened was they had approached the production company, the production team, and a deal was met where they would actually, as long as they could distribute the models, what they would do is they would provide they would pay for the full scale exterior model, the Galileo, the actual prop, the ship, the 24-foot ship. And then also they would pay for the interior set. And then they would also do the actual model that would be able to be filmed. So that really, really helped to save the budget.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And then they didn't really put out the shuttle model until later, right?
Yeah.
I think it was like a few years later in the 70s, wasn't it even? Or I don't know when the shuttle model came out, but it wasn't right away. I'm not one of those dates people that remembers all that stuff. The other people are amazing with all that, but I don't think it came out. I'd have to look up and see when it did come out. But yeah, and so they cut this great deal, yeah. And then Gene Winfield, who I don't know how he was associated with AMT. That's kind of interesting. I don't know that part of the story, but he was famous. He was well known for his auto designing work that he had done, and then he did this, and then that really blew him up with Hollywood, I guess, which was pretty cool. But,
now, didn't he do the design for the Jupiter 8, which was in Bread and Circuses?
He did the Jupiter 8. Yeah, that was his car.
Yeah.
And then it was used again in other things like Batman, Batman and Bewitched and some other stuff. Right. And there are all those great shots that we have of Shatner with the Jupiter 8.
Yeah.
That are just like these cool shots. Yeah. That I think if I'm bad with this stuff, that all of that came from doing this, and then blew him up with Hollywood people, and he got going with all of that. But yeah, the Galileo was built by a car guy, pretty exciting.
That is really, really exciting.
Yeah, it's basically a big car. It's huge and really heavy. I would like to attest to how heavy it is, because we had to move it, and it was no joke. And we're going to need to move it again from the workshop where we're working on it to the set. And we are having to work out some serious logistics, because that thing weighs thousands of pounds. Yeah. It's a big thing. Yeah.
I'm going to put some photos up, and I'll share those photos of it coming in that you shared.
Yeah, that was intense. Yeah, it was a thing. It was great, but it was also like, you're wanting to be so careful. It was worrisome. There's Roy and Leslie Schneider with James. I mean, we owe everything to them for saving the Galileo back in 2012 and getting it restored. That's why we got to see it on the Intrepid, and that's why people got to see it at NASA. And that's why we're lucky to have it coming to Ticonderoga. It's amazing. Yeah. They did an amazing thing.
I remember when that was taking place, and that was happening in South Jersey, if I remember correctly.
You were saying it's somewhere quite close to you when they had the like reveal or something, right?
They were doing like exactly. And I had, for whatever reason, I had missed it by like a couple of days, and I was so bummed because it was literally like an hour and a half down the road. And I remember when there was a lot of talk about the restoration taking place, and they had it transported and everything. And I just can't believe it is that long ago already,
it's fine. Time has flown. Yeah, I found the video. Well, Adam sent us everything. And I have a file of everything here on the computer, and I found the video of that unveiling,
Nice.
Happened right after we had talked yesterday when we were talking about today, and you said you had said that. Yeah, I mean, he documented everything. I thought my computer was going to explode. So much, but I did play that back. It was super fun.
I want to share those photos, and then you were talking about having the opportunity.
Yeah, doing the windows, man. I got like a whole $1 tip for doing the windows. It was super. Yeah, they just reached right out, handed me $1, and then so I did all the windows. We were giving her a little cleanup that day because Adam and Leslie were meeting us out there to get a look at her for the first time in a number of years, and for them to meet with James, and it was really exciting. Yeah, that was super fun to get to do that with them.
I no doubt.
Yeah, so great. The thing is big. You really don't get it. They say that it's 2/3 size, and okay, and then when you see it, it feels like it's full sized. It's just so big, right? When you're right up against it, and the nacelles are so heavy, 2 guys cannot pick up the nacelles, and we tried. You have to have a lot of guys or some kind of thing. They're super heavy. Just the metal tubes alone are 400 pounds. Just
wow.
The tube.
Oh my goodness.
And then you have the ends and the armature that hooks on and all this stuff. So they might weigh 800 pounds each. I don't know. They're ridiculously heavy, or 700 pounds, and awkward. And they're impressive. The whole thing is really impressive. Yeah. It's much bigger on the outside than on the inside, unlike Harry Potter stuff. Yeah, totally. It's amazing. You go in
like they always say the TARDIS.
Yeah, the TARDIS, that was it. And Harry Potter had this like thing you went into that it was way bigger on the inside. The TARDIS was always bigger on the inside too, right? And then this thing is so big feeling on the outside, and you go inside and it's super small. Mm-hmm. And you're like a little person crouching down because the ceiling isn't full height. And
Well, I'm going to go back to some of the photos that I have from the episode, and it's kind of cool because there's a couple where you have some of the cast, the crew in the actual shuttle, and then it's not actually the set. So I'll throw a few of those slides up. I want to welcome. I see that Dale Morton is joining us. Hey, Dale, thanks for joining us, and great to see you that you're out there. Lou is also joining us. Welcome, Lou. Good to see you too. Dale's asking Dave. He said, "What's it primarily made of?"
Well, it's multi material. There's a lower part is a steel frame. The upper part is a wood frame in the main body. Okay, and then there is plywood and metal sheet and fiberglass, and that are a lot of the composite of the main body. And then the nacelles are these metal tubes with wood and metal and armatures. So it's a real multi-material construction of a lot of different medium. Yeah, put together. Yeah. It's interesting. I had no idea that the bottom part was metal and the top part was wood. You know, but that's how they did it. You know, because the nacelles are structural. They support it, and so there isn't something when you insert those on each side and they slide into this metal guide in, then the shuttle can sit and look right on the set, right? So there isn't something holding it up that you got to hide with a bush or anything. And so this is, you know, I don't know how much the main body weighs, but probably under 2,000 pounds. But the two nacelles have to support that weight and be safe. And so it's a structurally built thing, which is interesting. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah.
No, very cool. Mary Beth said the Trexperts did a little history on it too.
Very cool. Yeah. There's an excellent one out there on the history that Altman, I think, is talking a lot about it. The whole thing. The thing has had a storied life.
Yeah.
It's been everywhere. So you're going to put up some pictures from the episode.
Yes, let me share this. Oh, and I want to say hi to Michelle Diato. She's joining us, and she's saying hi to us, and also hello to the chat. So thanks for being out there. She's joining us from Connecticut. Alrighty, so let me go back. I want to share some of these clips, and we will get those up, and we'll just go through them really quickly. So just regards to it. One of the things in regards to the episode, I love that opening shot that the director did, just, you know, panning down as he did in the very opening. We actually see this in a Star Trek episode 2 times. It's utilized in this episode, and it's also utilized in another episode later on, but it's actually, I believe, photographed at this time, but it's a different shot. So it's like there were maybe 2 takes done, and they inserted it. And if you check out the episode that The Lights of Zatar, at the very beginning, you'll see this same shot. So just as an FYI on that. But here's the hangar deck. And I remember seeing this the first time, and I was like, oh my God, this is so freaking cool.
Yeah, I know. That's part of that dreamy when we were kids stuff. That's just so freaking cool. Yeah.
It really is. I mean,
it was, they did such a great job of doing something that we all believed and super loved. Yeah, with that space and the shuttle in there, and then it launching out. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about that part because we're gonna have to do something interesting where we solve. We can't build something that big. You know, it's just not possible for a lot of reasons. Space available, budget. But we're trying really hard to make it look like you're in a bigger space than it might be. And we've got Doug Drexler and Darren Dockerman designing the space. And so we're pretty excited to make people feel like they're in a bigger space than they are. And it's pretty fun to be motivated by what you just saw and think about what we're going to try to pull off. Yeah. Really pumped about it. Yeah. It's juiced. It's cool.
It's very cool. And you got heavy hitters there, right there with Darren.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Darren's amazing, and Drexler's like an ever-ready battery. He's just
he's yeah. I actually got to see Doug, and he came to the Space 1999 convention, and he popped in there in September, so I got to finally meet him in person. He's such a nice guy, and he was there with Donna. And just they're just, you know,
we're having a great time. I'm spoiled getting to work with him. I've been working with the Akutas and Darren. Darren has been a workhorse on this and a huge amount of work, and we owe him a huge debt of gratitude for his dedication to this project. Yeah.
Darren is brilliant with all his conceptions and everything he does. I mean, you talk about the talent pool that exists for this project. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's been just hitting it out of the park over and over, and it's just been super, so fun. Yeah. So yeah, look at this, great shots. These interior shots are so fun. And then you got the little model, the smaller one, just sort of floating out there in space. You know, as I recall, shaking a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. It's part of the fun.
Yeah.
And then there it is on the planet, the exterior.
Yeah.
What was that? Taurus too. And then here's another shot from the interior.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty plain interior in some ways, and then they had some cool stuff in it. I'm surprised at how much blank wall that they had, but I loved that.
That was cool.
The phaser bank, classic, man.
Yeah.
Everybody
wants really cool. If you do like a close-up of that, you can actually see that one of the phasers is actually smaller than the other ones next to it.
Really?
Yeah, you have to. You can't really see it on this photo that I have up on the screen, but if you really
want to see it,
I'll send it to you. But if you, it's amazing though.
You can't just say stuff like that. Then I'm going to want to see it right then. Like, go check it out. Where's the smaller phaser?
It's like right over like where I'm pointing at. I don't know if you can see the pointer, but it's like right to the left. It's so small.
Huh. But that's cool. I mean, everybody wants one of those in their house where you can just like, open that up and grab a phaser charged and ready at a moment's notice. It should be in every home as something that's just like, you have toilets, you have sinks, you need a phaser thing.
You need a phaser.
Yeah. In case. Yeah. Absolutely.
Here we go. And this is a really cool shot because this actually gives us, and this happens so quickly where the doors open and then they're coming out, but then there's that maybe like 3 seconds where you get to see Yeoman Mears and she's sitting, and then if you like pause your Blu-ray, you can see, try to dissect how it's potentially different because she's in the actual shuttle as opposed to being on the set.
Yeah, it's really interesting too to me, and I know that James Cawley has got some great photos of different times you see the interior, and I'm really intrigued to peer at that more closely now that I've been in it to see how they pull it off. Because there ain't much space in there, and it 2/3 the size is more impressively smaller on the inside. Yeah, because the framing's in there and it makes it smaller than. Because of all of that, all the armatures, the things for the doors, they all are interesting. There's a handle. If you're going in and you turn to your right, there was a place, I guess, for somebody, the lower part of the door that comes down that you can step out on, has an armature and a handle, so that somebody could lower it from the inside off to the side. Okay. And so they had to have room for all that stuff. So they had somebody in there over to this side, with that thing to like run it down. It's cool.
Now there is a shot during the episode when I think it's at one point when Boma he's kind of peering in and he's trying to convince Spock to come out to do, to say a few words for Latimer. And he pretty much Spock is saying that he's trying to get the engines, get the ship fixed.
Right. Business. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens is he leaves, he pulls out, Boma leaves, and then the door comes up and then it closes. But as it's coming up, I believe you can see almost like a hand helping it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's like a thing. Yeah. Kind of getting things closed up. So yeah. Those doors open and close. They had to have. They didn't close. I don't believe they opened and closed together. They had to have somebody probably do them each. Maybe there was a mechanism at the time where if you open one, the other one opened. I don't know, but I think not. So then they had to have someone kind of hiding to pull both open.
Yeah.
and to close them. Yeah.
Dale said switching from the set to the exterior shuttle is edited really well in the episode. Yeah. And Jeff Rubel said, I still don't think that fold down shelf would fit, but again, part of the fun. And Dale said he never caught that hand. I'll have to pay closer attention.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Dale, it's you want to see the hand if you can see it. Just
it happens really quickly. And let's see, here's some other shots.
Yeah, there's the busy box area, and that was restored by Will Smith, and he did a beautiful job for Adam to build out that busy box area and put a few lights in it, and that's cool, very cool.
And then another angle shot.
Yeah, and then you get this interior, and of course that great moment with Scotty with that tool peering down there and holding the phasers, which is so lame and yet kind of fun.
Yeah,
like he's really using them to like charge the downstairs, but he hardly does anything. It's great. It's just,
The important thing, Dave, is we believed it.
Totally. Who cares?
He sells it. He's doing it. It's Scotty.
Yeah. However, he was like, you'd think instead of they would take the charge handles off and plug one down in there, it would make more sense because they are removable. And then we would have seen the one moment when you remove them, right?
That would have been so cool.
Yeah, would have been great. But yeah, it's a great moment when he's like working down there. It's cool.
It was a missed opportunity, but it's just that for the fans, it's just those little details where we go crazy, and it's like, oh my god, this is so cool. John is saying Scotty was a true miracle worker.
He was the man, totally. He kept the engine going.
And then there's
the paper mache rock getting ready to hit the shuttle. It's great.
Yeah, and that actor that was actually in that Bruce Moffat, I believe, was I destroy names. The creature, Bruce Maffetti. He actually did work on Lost in Space, and he was one of the giants.
Yeah, makes sense because he was a big guy. Yeah, that was a really odd costume they had for those guys, but I mean, it was the 60s and we loved it. It was great.
What's interesting too is the network was very afraid because we really never get to see the face. They were so worried about scaring the viewers, like it would be.
I remember reading that. Yeah. So they were too frightening. Yeah. Just so dumb. It's great.
And this was a cool shot because with the when he was trying to electrify the hull.
Oh yeah, with those black, insulated clothes. He's such a badass in that shot, man. You just expect him to ride off on a motorcycle afterwards. I mean, come on, he looks like the dude. It's great. That's a great scene with those gloves and the sparks. Yeah, I love it. It
really, really is. Now, Lou is asking, he said, what size is the shuttlecraft platform outside that we saw in the YouTube video?
What is he referring to? I am unsure. Okay. What does he mean, platform?
Lou, are you talking about for the Kickstarter, or are you if you could just give a little more information and then.
Yeah, sorry, Lou. I'm not picking up what we're wanting to talk about.
No, he'll elaborate. And then here we have the Columbus coming back in, even on the other shot.
Yeah. Stuff like that makes me so excited for what I hope we can pull off with the room. It really does. I'm having because I've been working on this for months and months. And I really do, Roy. I get so pumped at moments like that. Because we're going to build, it's not going to look like that, but we're going to do something cool.
Yeah.
And we've got the best people you could ever imagine to do it. And I get pretty excited. Yeah, I do. I look at that stuff and I get all dreamy about what's going to be like in September. Yeah.
Well, everything that's up there is amazing. I mean, it's just, you know, it's definitely like a journey, and just thinking of the fact that it's going to be up there, and what I'm saying, the shuttlecraft, the Galileo, is going to be in Ticonderoga. I mean, that in itself is just is fantastic. I mean,
Big deal.
it's like the Enterprise is complete with having that there. I mean, and for the folks out there, if you've never been there, and
yeah,
it's a bucket list item. If you are a fan of Star Trek,
it
and
is. Just go.
you have to go. I can't implore you. There's nothing like it anywhere. It's just amazing. I mean, the first time I was ever up there was back in 2015. I think was, and I am a date guy. It's like a curse. It was it was in July of 2000, and no, actually July of 2014. So it's actually going to be 12 years ago was the first time I was up there. And I was just like so blown away. And it was so different then, because things were kind of like in the process. I mean, a lot of things were there, but where it is now and what it is, I mean, it is a full museum. I mean, it is so accurate, and it's just, you are walking back and walking through the corridors of the Enterprise there, and every room, every place, every set, I'm just getting tongue tied just thinking about it, because it's so cool.
It does. And I feel very fortunate to have contributed to that. I've had a gas, and very fortunate. My partner in this, Brian Mix, the two of us love working together on projects there, and we pulled off some cool things. And it's just such a gas to go there and work on it and go like, okay, I want to make this cool, dreamy thing that was on this. Yeah. And James will go, okay, and then we figure it out and get it done. Like making a working safe, right?
Yep.
Or making the transporter room so it really has a whole beam in, beam out sequence. That was like my fantasy dream, and I got to do it. And then, watch people enjoy it. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And getting to work with the really talented people like James is amazing, and the place is amazing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah,
Lou commented. He said the cement foundation outside the set tour building is what he.
Oh, right. What size? Okay, so that is like 30 feet. It's as big as we could get. There were some limitations about easements and restrictions on that parking lot that James worked really hard just to be able to get the space we could get. So we have a building that is 30 feet wide and I think 28 feet deep. But by the time you lose some on the inside, it's a little bit smaller. And so you would think that's a big room. But the shuttle is 22 feet wide and 14 feet deep. So it's going to take up a big section of this.
Right.
And we are happy with what we got, because I mean there was even a thing to get an easement issue to get that, and we're gonna have enough space to make it work. Yeah, but like just enough, and people will be able to enjoy it, and there'll be enough room coming back, twice as much as what the shuttle takes up for people in there. So you could have 20 people in the room with it in a tour and be able to see it. And, it's a good size room, but that shuttle is big. It's big. Yeah. And 14-foot high ceilings in the main section, 12 feet back. And then in the main cavity where the Galileo is, we wanted 14-foot ceilings so that we could have a big high sense over it, and the height of a hangar of a shuttle bay. Yeah. So we actually pushed and worked with the contractor to raise the ceiling up another 2 feet. We were going to do 12 in the main, but we felt like we really needed 14 to give enough room over the shuttle to give space and for us to do some cool things, So that was as much as we could get too. And then we run into some issues about why you can't get higher. I'm in touch with the contractor regularly, and it's part of what we're doing. And he's an amazing guy, and he's going to do a great job of pulling this off for James. James has known him for years. He's the guy who cooks the dinners too for all the Shatner Admiral dinners. He's a multi-talented man. He can slay some turkey and slay it. Anyway, we are trying to push every detail to make an amazing place. Yeah.
No, I have no doubt it is going to come together, and it is going to be amazing. And it's,
yeah, I can gush over this. Sorry, there's so much in my head about all this that it's
no need to apologize. I appreciate it. It's great. I'm glad you're sharing all this information, Dave.
Yeah, it's been a thing.
Lou said thanks for the response. He appreciated it.
You're welcome.
And Henry said the sets, the experience, it never gets old, only gets better. It's more than I could ever dream of. Also, the friends we've made and the continuing experience so much sweeter. Yeah, absolutely. And Mary Beth said, give it that hangar feeling, or give it that hangar feel.
Yeah, yeah. Right? Sounds like a motto or something you say right before you drink a beer or something. Yeah. Absolutely, Mary Beth. I totally agree.
Really cool.
Yeah, look at that. And that shot on the left, I guess, must be the interior set. And then they had an exterior set outside of it, because I was looking at that and I thought maybe they put up like a wild wall for that shot.
Right.
Looking again, I don't know. Maybe they did. They might have. You know.
Well, it's interesting in that concept art of Matt Jeffries, because there's the computer, and if I go back, because I know when we were talking about this last night. Let me find it. Right here. Here we go. Oops. Sorry, Dave.
No, it's no problem.
There we go. You can see that the computer is like right there by the
yeah,
and right in the wall, which I thought was kind of cool how they had that in the at least, you know,
in that shot they had that computer right there.
Yeah,
it's a gorgeous drawing. It really is. Yeah, so cool. Matt Jeffries was amazing.
Yeah,
really.
And I came out of it again. Here we go. Going back in. There we go. That was such a big deal too, that optical shot with the when he ignites the ignition back in the day.
Yeah. And the whole everybody's mad at him because he dumped all the fuel, and with a great twist in the script, you know, and then they realize, yeah, well, you took your shot, now we're all gonna die, and then it works, you know. Yeah, and
then that was just, and I really that whole end sequence too with this. I mean, where they get off and, you know, Spock jettisons the fuel, and, you know, it's pretty much he's almost like in shock of what he did, because he's trying to like almost process what he did. Because, you know, when they say, you know, I think Boma says, you know, have you lost your mind? And he goes, perhaps, Mr. Boma. You know, it's almost like he can't believe, you know, the decision he made. And just, you know, when Kirk makes the order to abandon the search, and then he's, you know, he says, you know, the set course for Marcus 3, and then he goes space normal speed, and then Sulu's like, you know, saying, you know, space normal, like you're not going to go warp factor. You know, Kirk in his mind is going to use every last moment that he can to keep, you know, checking that planet to see if there are, you know, there.
It's great tension.
It really is. And William Shatner really sells it. I mean, especially when, you know, they get close, and then you know, he says activate the beams, and then he's just waiting, and then you've got that shot, you know, of him just like there, and he's looking like, you know, like it didn't happen. And then even Sulu says, you know, whatever it was, it just burned up in the planet's atmosphere. And then when Uhura says that, you know what, transporter room just said that they beamed up 5 people alive and well, and then he just like recomposes himself, and you could see it, you know, and he really sells the moment, and then he's like, you know, warp factor 1. So it's, I don't know, I love that whole sequence. I just thought it was really well done.
It's fabulous. Yeah, the whole thing between him and this Commissioner Ferris,
Yeah.
This guy with like a mini cape on his shoulder.
Now that guy, for the fans out there, that was actor John Crawford. John Crawford did a lot of stuff back in the day. I mean, he did Twilight Zone. If your episode was called 100 Miles for the Room, he did a lot of Gunsmoke. If you were a Lost in Space fan, and especially third season, he was Kronos in the episode The Time Merchant. So he was in that. He did also The Waltons. He worked with Dirty Harry movie, The Enforcer, back in 1976. He was in the Poseidon Adventure. Did a lot of different stuff, a lot of episodic television, Voyage to Bottom of the Sea also, and Time Tunnel. Did a lot of stuff for Owen Allen too. But
wow, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it was a great thing. I'm still not sure what I think about the mini cape, but
and you know who wore that same outfit? That uniform was worn by Garth in Whom Gods Destroy.
Ah.
So they recycled, obviously, but yeah. Hey, I want to say real quick, I want to say hi to James Michael Avalos. He's joining us from Australia. Welcome, James.
Excellent.
Great to see you out there.
Definitely furthest away.
And Warren is joining us. Welcome, Warren, for the Space 1999. It's under the 50th anniversary celebration. Good to see you out there, Warren. And Henry said, did an episode of The Incredible Hulk with Don Marshall. Yeah, there you go. Don Marshall did a lot of episodic television, too. And we didn't mention earlier The Land of the Giants. If you were a Land of the Giants fan, also Irwin Allen.
We watched all those series when we were kids, man. Heck yeah.
And then, of course, the last scene where they're basically all joking, about Spock, and then when he says, "You're a stubborn man," and he's like, "Yes, sir." I love as the camera pulls back and they're even running the credits, and you can see even Nichelle in this photo. She looks over at Leonard Nimoy and she puts her hand up, and she's just like, she's so caught in the moment, it's like such a sincere laugh. They're, you know what I mean, and it's just very, very honest, and it was just a great moment. Yeah,
the laughter break of all the tension of the whole thing. Yeah.
I want to say hi to Bill. Bill's out there joining us.
Hey, Bill.
Good to see you out there.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, I think we covered everything. Also, one of the things too with this episode being that with Spock first in command, and also all the tensions that go along with it, and him trying to utilize his logic and not being able to read between the lines as far as the emotional response of the creatures and how they would react.
Yeah, it's a great Spock / Vulcan exposure episode. Yeah,
definitely. And one last thing before we get to what I want to really get to. We always like to remember Starlog magazine back in the day, because that was there was no internet, as I always like to point out. So Starlog was our
sure was
go-to, and I always like to reference issue number 1 with Kirk and Spock on the cover there. So it was very, very cool.
I love that. Yeah.
With that said, Dave, there's a lot going on, and we're going to get into the heart of it, and that's with this Kickstarter that's going on, and it's now
big deal. Really soon. I feel like I've got wedding jitters or something. It is launching at 12:01 tomorrow, which is not far away.
That is not far away. Now, as you were saying, now both you and Brian Cox, and I wish Brian could have been here, and I'm sorry you couldn't.
Me too.
Are instrumental with this and have been pretty much the driving force behind this Kickstarter. So definitely, I want to share the link with the folks for that too in the chat. So we want to make sure to get the word out there about it, but just to let everybody know what's going on if you haven't heard about it, and just share some of the exciting details in regards to this.
Yeah. God, man, there's so much. I'm so excited to put out publicly what we built and put together, to raise money. And then there's the whole thing we're raising money for, which I've been spilling out through this whole thing because I couldn't help myself.
That's okay.
You know, but so what do you want to talk about first? What do you want to break into?
Well, what actually the Kickstarter is all about, and
yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So look, James is doing this amazing thing, and we are the guys helping him with this Kickstarter thing, and then we're all kind of working. It's a big thing, so there's no way James has so many responsibilities with everything else going on. It's, you know, there's a number of us working on what's going on, and we've been integral in meshing with the contractor. James has done a lot of amazing work to get it started and to make it happen. And then the primary thing that we are in charge of is the Kickstarter, which is going to, what we're hoping, provide the money to build the building that houses the Galileo. And we are very fortunate that we have it all timed out. This has been a thing. So the foundation is done. Okay. And that was a big deal. Permits, foundations, all this stuff, so that in March, late March, they can start building the building. And the idea is to raise enough money, the first goal, to be able to build that building and add on to the Star Trek tour a home for the Galileo. And this thing has to have a place for the Galileo to get in. You know, I mean,
yeah.
You know, so we've got this garage door thing to be able to get it in, and then thinking about how it's going to interrelate to the set. And the idea that I think James probably started with, but I think we were all thinking of, was this whole transition where you go out the red doors by Med Bay and then go through into what'll look like the shuttle observation deck, and then make your way from the observation deck to the actual, you know, shuttle bay. Okay. And so it doesn't work logically, but we're going to let go of logic. Okay. And we're just going to have you transition through this amazing space that's going to be the observation deck. And we're hoping a couple of monitors that make it look like you're looking down on the actual hangar deck and it's live and things are happening there. And then you're going to go into this other entrance and see the shuttle. And so, you know, the first goal on the Kickstarter is to get the building built. I think we're setting our Kickstarter threshold at 100,000. It would really take probably about 150 to build the building of our dreams. Okay. And so we're hoping that we get to that point. So there's building of our dreams. And that would mean really being able to build the building and put the detail in to make it look like what we'd like for the shuttle, put good lighting on it so that it looks good, professional lighting. And then the stretch goals are like this observation deck thing that we can transition through to it. And then a stretch goal, which very interesting, would be this big screen volume wall behind it. And if we're lucky, to the right, maybe even to the left, depending on how much money we raise, that would then be able to, you know, like Darren and can do the graphics and then make it look like you're on a huge, expansive shuttle hangar, right? Instead of just that room.
Right.
You can make it blow up into this amazing space. So that's the big dream. But the big dream is very carefully planned, very carefully thought out, very carefully thought about from James right through to us, to the contractor, and all the little details of feasibility. So if the fans get behind this and we get enough, we can do a knock out of the park experience for the shuttle, like a home like it's never had, you know. And that's what we're up to there with it. And the idea, the process is all running, and we're lined up for the contractor to start as soon as weather gets better in late March and start building. And the building itself would be done like around June 1st. Okay.
Wow.
And then the idea in this interim period, the shuttle could be touched up, fixed up. It needs a little bit of beauty work it's been since 2012 and it's been in a few places. So we want to give it a little love and get that where we want. There's some talk of building an interior, sort of shrunken mock-up of the interior in there. So when you look in, like you look in that shot, you see that interior like they had in Galileo 7, and you know, that may get done. The idea is there'll be so that's what we want to get done, and then the shuttle will get moved in there, you know, sometime over the summer, and the dedication ceremony would be September 19th weekend. Okay. And we're very excited. James was able to get George Takei and Walter Koenig for that. And so they're going to be an integral part of the dedication ceremony. And then we have some really special stuff because it's not quite ready in June, but that is a big event that James is doing. And in the Kickstarter, some lucky people can get a sneak preview of the shuttle out at the workshop with Bill Shatner and get their picture with Bill with the shuttle. Big deal.
That is big deal.
In my mind. It's a big deal in my mind, and I think it's a big deal for a lot of people to get that picture. You know?
That's pretty huge. And think, how about William Shatner, 95 years old?
He'll be 95.
He'll be 95 on March 22nd next month.
I'm sure he has more energy than I do. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah, and he's so sharp. And then there's he's helping us with a dinner that is going to be for 10 people, unheard of, a private dinner just for 10 people who are going to be very lucky to get something you just can't get. And that's going to be happening in June. So there's two things in June that are both with Bill Shatner that are part of this Kickstarter that people are going to want to jump on. Once in a lifetime opportunities kind of things we're very fortunate to offer. And then the rest of it, as far as in-person stuff, will be the dedication event. And then we have some really amazing products that we designed specifically for this. We are fans, and we just sat down and dreamed up some cool stuff that we would want so that you guys would want. And you could help us out by pledging and get some cool things home. And there's an opportunity to get your name permanently on the plaque. And then there's a lower, bigger, extended plaque. Big donors on the main plaque. That's how it works. But lots of room for lots of other donors who want their wives to still speak to them, or their husbands after they've donated. And they can be on this extended plaque too. And your name will be on there permanently as having helped give the home for the Galileo, and there's limited slots for that. So yeah, we put a lot of work into this, and we did it for people like us, right? All us real fans out there, hoping that what we put together, you can help us get this done, but also get some really cool things and experiences, right? You know?
Absolutely. And this is a big deal. And this is the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. So
yeah.
I mean, it's timing out with everything that's happening.
It's huge.
And
yeah.
You know, a lot of times you hear about folks, and I'm not taking away from going anywhere else to, you know, to other events and what have you, but the fact that the 60th anniversary is being celebrated at such a capacity, and it's in this area. I mean, when I say this area, I mean, for me personally, it's within 4 hours, 45 minutes to 5 hours away, which honestly, I don't have to fly out to California. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's nice that it's here. And I know there's big events that go all over. And again, those are wonderful. I'm not taking away, but it's great that it's so conveniently close, and for the folks on the Northeast, and it's a win-win.
This is its own really special thing. And it's really exciting to be able to help James expand it in this amazing way. I see two questions on there. If I can jump in to answer.
Sure, absolutely.
Dale, I wish sometimes I did live in the Ticonderoga area, because the drive is killer for me sometimes, but I'm about 4.5 hours away. And I have made one-day trips to work on things, which is kind of ridiculous. This is on loan from NASA's Space Center Houston, Lou. And we're building. The expectation is for it to stay there. It is there at the courtesy of Space Center Houston. And obviously the arrangement with building a building and everything, I mean, it's theirs, but I think everybody's understanding and agreeing about a long-term relationship. But I'm not expecting it to go anywhere. Otherwise, I wouldn't be interested in this time in building a building. Yeah. They're very excited about it. They're behind it. You know, so that's how I would express it. And I have no qualms about all of us contributing. I put in ridiculous hours into this, and I expect it to be there to show grandkids, you know, right? And then the suspending question, there's been this is part of the whole thing. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is to pull off stuff over there. Space is limited, and it's very expensive to get commercial property. And I know James worked really hard trying to get space on the left to right side of the building, and those deals were not able to come through because commercial building deals are complicated. And you know, we were, to my knowledge, there isn't any current viable path right now to a next generation bridge because of space. So nothing really is happening on that end. Because of a frustration with, I mean, James is not a multimillionaire, and he can't just plunk down and buy some big building. All this is little engine that could stuff, and it takes some things to make it happen. But so I can just say right now that I don't know how that could happen without like gift from the gods and money just falling from trees, you know. But you never know. Maybe someday something gets cleared up about that.
Yeah. No. That perfect sense. Bill said Thai is the perfect place for it. Absolutely. It yeah. Everything's in alignment with that, and this is almost like the final piece.
Yeah, it's the real deal. Adding on to it, and then a part of the experience of the set that has never been there. Yeah, it's an amazingly big addition to it. Yeah, it's a big deal. Were we going to show them some of the stuff we made for them, or I can't remember?
Yeah, I have it ready to go. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. So there's a little story, because of course we put ridiculous thought into everything, guys. It's kind of stupid, but Brian and I and Darren, we're obsessive Star Trek fans. So there was an original glass that Gene Roddenberry made as a gift that at a party he held for staff and actors and stuff. And it was kind of an infamous glass that it'd be unheard of to find a real copy of. Glenn Swanson made these reproductions that are gorgeous and accurate. And I love this thing. And Matt Jeffries did this artwork for Gene to put on this glass. This Libby glass is still available. Same glass. So as a match to this and an ode to this not always known tradition of this glass, we're having on the same Libby glass this Galileo and this minimalist shuttle logo that is our logo for this Kickstarter that was designed before us by Mike Akuda. And then Darren Dockerman did the art for us on the glasses. And they're going to be done in gold leaf. And they're going to be gorgeous barware. And they'll go with this if you have one of these. Or if you just like knowing that that's the same glass that Gene Roddenberry used to give his staff. And if you're like me and that tickles you, okay, you know. So that's one thing. What else you got coming up? Hats. And there'll be two versions. There's a Galileo hat, and I think I didn't get you a picture. There's another one that has the 1701-7 on it, just that.
Oh, nice.
So you can choose either one of those. And we're excited about those. And then what do you got next coming up? Oh, these actually, you know, this is a little thing, but we put a lot of time into these and we love them. These are like insignia pins for the Galileo that we dreamed up with Brian and me and Darren that you could wear. And it's sort of like a little Galileo insignia pin. Darren did this rendering of it, which is gorgeous. and we're really excited about those to go to people. That's one of a kind, and it's kind of cool. Pretty happy with the design. Yeah, right? We were dreaming that up, and it took a lot of iterations till we were like, okay, not ugly anymore. Okay, we're getting somewhere. You know? A lot of time. Because we wanted things really cool for people. And that actually is one of the things, it's funny, but that we're in love with that pen, you know. What else you got next? This. So Mike Akuda is famous for many things in his graphics and his patches that he has done for NASA and for other things. And he very graciously designed a patch just for us.
Oh, that was really nice.
Put a lot of time into it. I think I drove him nuts working on it. That was kind of ridiculous. But he was very patient with me. And we worked through this, and he is an amazing professional, and it was a gift to get to work with Mike Akuda on something, right?
They are, they're both Michael and Denise are the nicest people. They are just so, and they always say they're fans just like us, and they're so
amazing.
True. They are. They really are.
They're so behind this project and real believers, and they want the Galileo to have a home. So this patch, which we are having done by the same place that does the patches for NASA. Okay. So good quality stuff with a nice pedigree. And these patches will be available. And this is, a beautiful piece. Yeah, we're really happy with. And then what do we got? T-shirts or?
That's actually all I've got.
We didn't get that. Yeah, there are T-shirts too. They have the minimalist design. I can show it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on the back, it says, "I helped land the Galileo," and I meant to get these, but this is something. God, it's left right. Shirt will have this on the front of it, which looks super cool. It's this like minimalist shuttle, and then the back's gonna have "I helped land the shuttle." They're gorgeous shirts. And those will be available. And then we're going to have the plaque, which looks like the main plaque looks like, the Enterprise D dedication plaque, right?
Gotcha.
Okay. So the way it's going to work, everybody, is that you'll have these packages, and at $500, you're going to get all the swag and your name on the plaque list. Okay. So you're going to get a lot of stuff, and you can do that. And then there's some ticket items for people who want to be at the dedication. And 20 lucky people will be able to be in the room when the Galileo is dedicated with George and Walter. And then there's going to be some tiers for people who get to watch the dedication live on the bridge. A couple of them special tickets where they get to be in the helm's chairs or the captain's chair, or if they're in the general, room. We're going to have some chats with George and Walter that are going to be part of this with the Galileo. That's what's going to be special. I mean, chats were always on the bridge on these tours. We're going to have some chats right at the Galileo in that room for people, which is going to be a special thing. There's going to be a meet and greet with Darren Dockerman and Doug Drexler and Mike and Denise Akuda in the conference room, redressed as the rec room, where we're going to have a little soiree for everybody to talk to these amazing people. So there's a whole smattering of tiers there. It's a lot. I think we cleaved in half putting it all together. But,
it's really, really cool. I mean, so much work and so much thought has gone into this whole process, and it's really going to be that much more special for the fans, Dave. So I think, what's been conceived is really amazing. So kudos to both you and Brian and the entire team and James and everybody involved in this project. I mean, it's just, again, it's Star Trek, the 60th anniversary, and what a way to celebrate. And it's going to be happening, throughout. All these special things are going to be happening throughout the year too. So it makes it that much more special and so much to look forward to.
Yeah, the 60th in June is going to be big. And then we've got this thing. And, I just ask everybody out there, it really means a lot to get this done. If you can help share, anything on social media about the launch. And anything you can do to help us when you can, once we launch, it's really deeply appreciated.
Absolutely. Mary Beth just said really cool perks. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dale, I'm sorry you have to run, but it was great to get to.
Yeah. Dale, thanks for joining us. He said, I have to run. My ride is here. Thanks for the podcast, Roy. And many thanks to Dave for all the wonderful work.
I love Dale's work. Man, good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No. And in regards to the link for the Kickstarter, definitely should be sharing that.
Okay. So how can we do?
You can post it right into the chat.
Great. All right. I'm going to do that. Give me a second.
Okay. And Henry just said, great perks, loving all this info. And Mary Beth just said, please help if you can. Yeah, please, folks. And any amount will help. So don't feel that, I mean, even if you can only do a little, don't, because a lot of times folks will say, I didn't do it because I didn't want to just give some, a little bit, or, it wasn't, anything. Because if everybody just does a little, it'll turn into a really huge pot to help.
Yeah, that's the thing we did too. It's, when I try.
Oops. Oh, I lost Dave, and I'm sure he'll be back in a moment. Oops. Stand by, folks. He'll be joining us back. But yeah, this is just amazing. And again, I can't help but say, as I was saying earlier, if you have never been to Ticonderoga, you have to get up there. So this is just going to be something else that is just going to be so fantastic. And especially if you're a Star Trek fan, it's just mind-blowing. Yeah, Randy. Yeah, Dave crashed. And, I was thinking too, in regards to this, just about how this has to be for everybody. I mean, when you think about William Shatner, you think about George Takei, you think about Walter Koenig, just the fact of this coming there and being able to be a part of it. And just think, how they were a part of this 60 years ago, and the time that has gone by, and the fandom that has developed in regards to it. Oh, Dave is back. Here we go.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. I can't get in the chat. I threw myself out instead. So
it's all good.
I'll try to chat again here. Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay. Apparently throwing myself out into space helps.
Don't do that. Yeah, I was actually trying to share it before myself, and it didn't work because I was all prepared to share
That's
it. So
private chat. I can't. If you can grab it from the private chat and put it in for me,
I will put that right in. Thanks for.
I can't get in the other comments without going into some space-time continuum travel thing.
Whoa.
It's really not cool. I lose all you guys, and then
there we go. Whoops. Yeah. And I think I put it in the private chat. So there we go.
Great.
I just shared it with everybody, so it's out there.
So what this is the preview link. And what that'll do for people is it'll get you signed up to be any announcements between now and tomorrow noon. And then at noon, you'll have an announcement that it's live, so you get notified right away. And also, if you're on this list and you pledge to, we're going to have some stuff that we haven't talked about that's going to hit. We have some, there's actually more cool stuff. And we have it coming, and it's going to be amazing. So there's more amazing. It's ridiculous. This is like Christmas. It's so cool. But so it'll keep you alerted to all that. So this will get you ready for the live. And then there's going to be, a new link for live. I don't know why Kickstarter does that way, but that's how they do it. But that'll get you guys over to the preview page until we go live, and you can subscribe. And you can also find us easily. Just go to Kickstarter and type in Star Trek or Galileo, and you will pull us up. Okay.
Awesome. And I just checked the show's page, and it is out there. So the link is working. So it is on the Facebook page.
Cool. Okay.
So the folks will be able to get there as well.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I try to join the chat, and bad things happen. So.
It's all good.
Yeah. So we're excited about tomorrow. It's going to be a love letter to Galileo when we break this open. Yeah, very cool.
Well,
it's awesome, Roy. I really appreciate you doing this and helping us.
Oh, absolutely. And it was everything. And it, this was all last minute. So I appreciated you, and again, I'm sorry, Brian couldn't come on. I wanted to be able to help and get the word out there. I mean, I did post on the page yesterday, but I thought, let me just check with you. And I'm glad this worked out. And
well, you do this amazing show and lots of cool stuff that you do, and I appreciate getting to come in and play with you and do this. And we have put an immense amount of work into this, and so it's exciting. We're also like pre-wedding nervous jitter thingies or something.
Of course. But this could not be in better hands with everybody that's involved in this project. So
there's a lot. Everybody, Mary Beth's been amazing, and a lot of others. So it's a great team. James has done some really amazing stuff to make this happen. So all right, what else, man? Is that the lid, or is there the endless talk of Star Trek that we could never ever finish?
We can keep going and going.
Hell yeah.
Actually, let me see. Mary Beth just posted too. She said, go follow the Kickstarter now so you'll know when it goes live. If you haven't done so, please follow do that. That's a great suggestion. Thanks, Mary Beth. And Bill said, can't wait till it's live and we can all be a part of this extraordinary experience. Absolutely.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. And listen, there are some big ticket items on there because that's kind of how it is. Like, we'll find out tomorrow. But if you want to have a private dinner with Bill, you are going to pay. It's just how it is. But we have stratified this so that there are some reasonable things all the way up to the outrageous things. So we wanted something for everyone. So it's all there. Best we could put it together. And the tickets and stuff they run, because it takes a lot to get George and Walter at a thing. So there are just things about doing all that are big deal stuff, but it's going to be a big deal to get to be part of it. It'll be a once in a lifetime experience.
Dave, I was just saying when you were out off screen just for a little bit, I was just commenting and I was thinking about it beforehand. How surreal it has to be for them. I mean, coming up to Ticonderoga, they've been coming up here for years, but now just with everything, with the shuttlecraft, that's just going to be another layer of it. And it's, and the fact that the time that has gone by, it has to be so surreal. In terms of that.
Yeah, it must be. And the relationship that James has built with William Shatner from the first time he came, which was amazing. And what was it, 2018?
I remember that. It was in May. Yep.
It's crazy. And now they have this great relationship, which is just stunning. And Bill loves it there. It's it's incredible. And and I call the set the little engine that could. It's just like that child's book of the little engine that just kept going and going, and then started as what it started long before I was involved, and built it up further and further and further. And this is just another little engine that could moment where everybody's help will help us do something that normally only Disney can do, or Paramount, or you go to one of these amusement parks, and we're going to try to pull it off as just a bunch of fans, and it's pretty exciting. With some real help, like real people who know what to do, like Doug Drexler and Darren Dockerman. We've got amazing professionals to give us some vision for that building. But we're doing little engine that could stuff, and you guys are going to help us out. It's really cool. So,
cool. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the shout outs portion of the show, and then what I'll do is we'll come back and we'll just wrap up and just cover anything extra that you want to talk about. And
you're awesome, man. And any chance to wear a tie-dye.
So anyway, I want to first, we're talking about Star Trek The Original Series set tour, and William Shatner is returning June 25th to the 28th. For information, folks, we were just talking about that. Go to www.startrektour.com. Again, 60th anniversary. And I can't say more. So you have to get up there.
Yeah, that's going to be, it is a big thing that's going on. And there are so many stars showing up. Yeah. It's going to be superlative. I'm sad. I will not be there, but I will be doing. Yeah, I can't. And I'm doing something better. My daughter is getting married in my backyard that weekend.
Oh, wow. Congratulations on that.
So it's just one of those days where you just walk away from the bright, shiny thing and you go to the really cool thing. So you guys are going to have to enjoy that for me. I will be very happy and doing a cool thing, but a little bit of jelly. Okay. You know.
Wow. Oh, thanks, MB. Much appreciated. And next, we were talking about it. Mark your calendar, September 19, 2026. Land the Shuttlecraft Galileo.
Yeah, that is going to be the day, the weekend. We're going to have the dedication and events. And then I'm sure there may be more things that are filled out on the Star Trek Studio Tour side. That'll be later. But the whole structure that is us will be laid out on the Kickstarter, and you can see it tomorrow. And it is a once-in-a-lifetime cool thing. Adam and Leslie Schneider will be there too. And I think we got David Alexander there as our personal NASA guy, you know. And
Dave's a great guy. He's
a great guy. And then our stars and a bunch of other people. So it's super exciting. Yeah. Can't wait.
Want to give a shout out to my friends Mary Beth and Mike. Mary Beth's out there for Sci-Fi Distilled Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned. They will post as far as what they will be covering for next Wednesday. So again, Sci-Fi Distilled.
Yeah, great stuff. Mike's awesome. Mary Beth's awesome. Mike's going to help us with the lighting, make it really, really good.
Very cool. Yeah, I was talking to him this morning, and he was texting. So no, that's awesome. I want to give a shout out to my friend Bill Scarrato for Country Gate Players in Harmony, New Jersey, Belvedere, New Jersey. And if you are in the area, mark your calendars, April 18th to the 19th and the 25th to the 26th. They are going to be doing their next show, which is The Miracle Worker. And for ticket information, you can go to www.countrygate.org. And Bill also has a personal website, which he also posts about projects that he has going on. And you can go to www.billscarrato.com. And also want to give a shout out to my friend John Kenneth Muir. John just launched the second season of Abnormal Fixation. And you can catch this on YouTube. And he's posting it on his Facebook page. Episode 1 was just dropped this past Wednesday, which is Wi-Fi Wife. Definitely check it out. Last year when I was going through a lot of stuff, I mean, this really kept me grounded and it brought a smile to my face. And it was one of those things that I was looking forward to each week. And it's very enjoyable. And they're doing 8 episodes this year as opposed they did 6 last year. So definitely check it out. Abnormal Fixation. And it's a lot of fun. And also want to give a shout out to friend Captain Phil for Captain Phil's Planet on WUSB 90.1 FM, Stony Brook, New York. The captain's schedule is on Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then he's also on Friday nights from 10 to 11:30 p.m. with the exception of every 4th Friday of the month. So definitely check out Captain Phil. And he also comes up regularly to Ticonderoga, to the Star Trek Original Series set tour. And also with my friend Warren Friedrich, we've been doing a weekly podcast. We did it last year. We covered the first season of Space 1999, and we are back and we are doing year 2. And we just released the 3rd episode, which is One Moment of Humanity. It just dropped last night, in fact, for the 2nd season. The 4th episode, which is All That Glisters, will be released on the 22nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, you can watch this, and it is Space 1999, this episode.
Cool.
And then also talking about conventions, upcoming Space 1999 convention will be taking place in Manchester, England, in the UK, and it is going to be taking place September 11th, 12th, and 13th of this year. For information, you can go to www.space199950years.com. Right now, scheduled guests are Nick Tate, Alan Carter, Anton Phillips, who played Dr. Bob Matthias, Suzanne Heimer-Peterson, who was Barbara Bain's stand-in, and then also actress Carolyn Seymour, who was a guest star in the episode The Seance Spectre, and is also no stranger to Star Trek. She was featured in a number of Star Trek The Next Generation episodes, as well as Star Trek Voyager. So mark your calendars for that. And also I want to give a shout out to my son, Ryan, who is an online running coach and service provider.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he is so passionate about running. And in fact, he just completed his 4th New York City marathon, came in 161 out of over 50,000 people last year.
Excellent.
And he PR'd. So his website address, just to give him out there, is www.runbyryan.com. There is no fee to register. However, if you decide that you do want to have him as an online coach, there are different tier levels for that. And then there's a cost associated with that, just to let you know. And then I also want to give a shout out to my my friend and my co-host, Mr. Ross Amico. Ross does 3 shows. He does Picture Perfect on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He has Sweetness and Light, which is on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he does also The Lost Chord, which is on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can tune in. It's on internet radio, which is kwax.uoregon.edu. And also Ross sends his best to Dave. In fact, like I was saying, we were not going to do a show tonight. Ross actually was a little under the weather. So he's feeling a little bit better, but anyway.
He feels better.
Yeah, but thank you. And then to let everybody know, this Sunday, it's another very special episode. And this is like a Star Trek weekend, folks. So this Sunday, February 15th,
unbelievable,
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, David Frankham is coming back to the show. He's been a friend to the show, and David is going to be celebrating his 100th birthday. He's actually turning 100 on the next day, on Monday, but he's going to have a lot of stuff going on. So we are going to celebrate with David at least for about an hour. It might be a little shorter than that, but within the hour. He's amazing, and I can't say enough things about David. And he's been up to Ticonderoga as a guest, and in fact, he wore his uniform from the episode is during Truth No Beauty, and they were doing a photo ops of him in the transporter room. In fact, I've actually got my photo taken with him. But he's a great guy.
Yeah. And that legendary thing that happened for him to get there. Do you remember the whole thing with his passport? He couldn't get on the plane.
Yes.
So he had to get his nephew and drive from New Mexico so that he was so passionate to make it. He ended up not being able to get on the plane. Boss story, something with his passport or his ID. And then he drove cross country at 94 to be with us.
He's wonderful. And David has worked with so many amazing people too. I mean, Vincent Price being one of them, and Charles Bronson, and his stories and recollections. I mean, his mind is so sharp. So anyway, I'm so looking forward to seeing him and having him back on the show. He was on last year for his 99th birthday. If you're a fan of 101 Dalmatians, he was Mr. Tibbs in that. So anyway, mark your calendars. Again, we're going to be starting right on time. A lot of times we have tech delays, but we will be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Sunday. So, cool. So mark your calendar.
I love it.
Yeah. And as I always like to say, if you haven't already, please like and share. We are on Facebook and YouTube, although we were having problems with YouTube tonight. So I got to find out what's going on with that.
Yeah. Apparently I went and looked too. Couldn't see it. So I don't know.
I'll have to upload it to the YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to share. So, but Dave, any other things you want to talk about or share?
I know we've been a little bit. Can I show you something real special?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I make things, right?
My God, yeah.
One of the things I love to do, and it's a really wonderful part of my relationship with James, is getting the opportunity to make things for the store. Custom, one-of-a-kind stuff that you can't get anywhere else. And one of those things, let me turn on the main room light here. I made, these came in November, and we're going to have them actually, normally you can only get these by coming to the set, but I made these extremely accurate reproductions of the Tranya glasses, right?
Oh, nice.
Okay. Which were also used in all sorts of episodes, but most famous for being in the hands of Clint Howard.
Yeah, the core
and you know, being proud of our ships, baby.
Yeah.
And so it was very hard to. I was in with two other people that identified what the glasses were finally, and then managed to get some, and then very carefully got them reproduced, and they are gorgeous.
Wow, look at that.
Reproductions of the original in a beautiful box. And normally you got to come to the set, but actually I put on there because I thought it would be fun, and people can get these too and get them sent home to them. So these will be available on the Kickstarter, and they're in real quick because it's fun. Because we like our crazy cool stuff, and you know about the whole Viewmaster thing. Can we just show this for a second?
Please do. My goodness. Last year we were talking about this at Ticonderoga.
Yeah. So
I had that, Dave, back in the day.
Right? Obsessed with Viewmasters, as we're obsessed with all these things, and with a team of people, Brian and others, we made a 3D real tour of the original series set. There's some initial ones that are there for sale, but by the time this all hits, I'll have the main load there. And it comes with a viewer with a custom logo, a packet, like the old days. Here I have one that's out. We made a recreation that's similar to the original sleeving, but designed for us. Darren Dockerman did the art for this. It is really fun. They're really cool 3D pictures, and this is a cool thing. That by the time you guys all come out for the June and etc., this will be out there in mass. And then next products that are rolling out, just to give you a quick, this is like my development desk over here where I'm working on stuff. So prototypes from China and all sorts of things going on. Because like, see, this would be like my prototype of the next thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then these are the samples from China, right? So I get a good look at them. But this is what's coming out next, is in green, blue, and amber. These cocktail glasses were used all through most of the episodes, almost always in Kirk's hand and some woman, you know, mirror, exactly, you know. Yeah, and so these are going to be impossible to get. And they're being reproduced. Actually, these are so close, I get them confused with the original. And I am serious about that stuff. And I get them mixed up and go, I'm not sure anymore which one's the real one. That's how close these are. It's super fun. These will be in the store then. And we're working on big stuff with uniforms. The most accurate uniforms ever made, according to James's serious knowledge and desire to make the best uniforms ever, and those are in process. We'll see how that goes.
Are you talking original series uniforms?
Hell yeah, not extra.
Oh my
baby.
God.
We're talking original series. We are right now, as a matter of fact, I have a woman who taught fabric in New York City at the School of Design, who I have a friend who's a friend of my gal's, and she is helping us with recreating the original velour fabric. Okay, because the problem is the velour fabrics that people have used are too thin.
Yep.
And are just not right. And so she's actually taking a microscope and re-examining their actual stitching to help us, because she's for real. And she's working with me right now so that we can first step reproduce the exact fabric. Like, you will never know the difference. And then, you know, we've got the braids, the zipper, the collar, and the thing is to take a bat and with James and I make the most, that he will sign off that these are the most accurate uniforms ever made.
That is so freaking cool. I can't tell you how excited I am to hear about that. Now, I've always been a second season wraparound tunic guy. Any chance that will that be?
Well, I'll tell you what, if I live through this development process, and we get these going, sure. I mean, I think we could tackle anything as long as the product's moving and we can go to the next one. I'm all for it. What we're going to do first is get these, first, second season regular velours in the gold, the green gold, the red, and the blue. See, like over here, I mean, this is my stash over here where I'm working on this stuff, man.
Wow.
This is stuff,
Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah. Like the black one is a funny sample from China where they were just proving me some stuff. Yep. There never was a black one. Okay.
No.
But anyway, yeah, I get to handle and hold original fabric samples and pieces and then work on getting them recreated. I mean, it's like a dream. That is
so cool.
It's a long process and it's going to take a while. But once you get it,
but it's being done right. So that's it's worth the wait. Because
yeah, it is. We had a lot of instability and tariffs that made this difficult. They seem to have calmed down. So, but I would say, that's what I'm concentrating on now. Those glasses are done. The next set, Viewmasters are done. These things are in the store. So I'm concentrating on the uniforms. And this gal, she is off from work for 2 weeks right now, actually, and she and I are going to be working closely on getting the fabric done. Once you get the fabric done, that's like the secret sauce.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to hear that because I have 2 original series uniforms. Well, the shirts I have, and they're from a while ago. But here's the thing. I mean, fortunately I lost some weight. This will motivate me to take off more weight.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I've been really sticking to my diet. I mean, I've done a lifestyle change, so I'm on the right path. But
you look great.
No, thanks. All things considered, but I appreciate it. But I still need to lose another. If I lose another 20 pounds, I'll be stoked.
Me too.
This. Yeah, you
I'll do it with you, man. We both need to throw 20 off to the side. Okay, and then we can look like and fit into these cool uniforms. So yeah, James is super excited about this. I think they'll sell well. I've never produced things in China, so I've been having to learn how to mass produce and do all this. And so now that I've kind of gotten all that figured out, I'm ready to chunk into these uniforms. And I'm excited to and James is going to be he knows. So when we have it and he's happy, it's going to be like a thing.
His eye for detail is incredible. I mean, he just does not miss anything. Mary Beth just said, James has the eye for the uniforms. Yeah. And then she also said, and that's a scoop right there, folks. Yeah, no, that's huge. And I really appreciate you sharing that, Dave. So that's
fun stuff. This is my prototypes come in and out table. I did put the computer up for fun because we were talking, which we made. That's my work there too with some friends where we all made one. But yeah, I have a great time in this room, developing things. It's fun.
I gotta help. I think we were talking about this. We have to meet.
Yeah, we do. It's ridiculous. You don't live that far away.
I'm in New Jersey, but I am like Regalsville is right across the border into Pennsylvania. So we're not that far.
Yeah, we got to stop just meeting at the set. It's
I know we drive 5 hours to meet. It's so
Mark
funny.
Myers is on.
Hey Mark, great to see you out there.
Hey man,
he said uniform.
That man can wear a uniform well.
Yeah, he's got the cool uniforms going on. Yep.
Yeah,
he sure does.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're working on it, Mark. They will be really exciting. It's probably going to take me, it may take me 5 or 6 months of some really hard work, but I don't know. But that's my goal, is to have it done sometime during this 60th anniversary and get them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pumped. Yeah, real pumped. And James, we can do it,
You can do it. You have the technology.
Yeah, we have everything. Once we recreate, this is the linchpin, and it's a friend of my gal's, and we went to her house for Thanksgiving, and we're talking, and she's like, "Well, that's what I taught for a living as a professor." And I would get out the microscope and show people how to figure out the exact stitch of a fabric at that level, and then recreate it. She's like, "I can help you do this. It's not a problem."
That's great.
You know, and she has the contacts, and we're going to try to reach out. There's a lot of places now, like fabric might be Vietnam. It could be some other places. But I've kind of gotten now, I'm no longer afraid of like getting things made outside the country. That was all really scary to me like 8 months ago. And now it's like, probably I should be more afraid, but it's now just like fun, you know? Yeah. So once we get the stitch at that level, we should be able to get it. And then that's going to give you that like, they were like freaking towels, you know, thick and just heavy. Having held the right fabric and compared it to current velour, it has a little more stretch, a little more thickness. And it, you know, once we nail it, and then we got to nail the collars are an interesting fabric too. And I have an original sample from Bill Tice's personal collection that's in the hands of this fabric person.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun. I also told her, don't lose it. James will kill me. Because you know, it's like, please, she's good. But it's like, please do not lose that thing. Anyway,
Mark said, looking forward to hanging out with you guys again.
Yeah, you too, Mark. And thanks for helping to share the posts and everything. Really appreciate it. You know, it's we need every bit of it from everybody right now.
Yeah, it all adds up. So just if one person just shares, everybody does it. Just do it, share once, it'll go.
William's quote, is that sort of like a version of the if it fits, you must acquit, or is that different?
No, he's saying if it fits, I will get it. Meaning if the uniform fits.
I know. I was O.J. Simpson joke. Sorry, it's a bad joke. Bad. Yeah, I have bad jokes.
That's all good. No, I know. Hey, let me tell you something. I used to joke about when I would put on, you know, and this is like, you know, a few years ago. I'd say, yeah, I've got a second season uniform with a 6th season gut.
Yeah, right. Right.
There was no 6th season.
Yeah, man. Post girdle, just take it off.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like suck it in. But now, you know, again, having lost some weight, but it's like I gotta go the mile. Yeah, Bill's a big guy. He's 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". Yeah. Well, we're gonna work on all that. And that's an exciting part of it too, is to figure out sizes. And one of the things I think might be good, and James and I were talking about that, if we build into the uniforms extra, where they can be customized outside of the normal range for people, you know, that there's some he knows all about that. Then maybe you get one, because we can only get so many different variations. And then it's like what we did for the Kickstarter, make these things for the fans so that they could be customized and tightened up for them. Yeah, that would be cool. And we were talking about that. So
that's a great idea, actually. That's a wonderful idea.
Yeah. And then if we have the fabric, you know, maybe there's something where, you know, somebody who needs a particular size can just pay more but get a commission, you know, a custom one. I mean, that's something we can talk about. But if we have all the fabric and materials and somebody just isn't going to fit into XL and X and this, you know, it's totally conceivable to pay for a one that's custom made here, you know, for them. Yeah, I bet that's possible. James and I can talk about that.
See, there you go. Mark just said, Dave, remember our photo shoot. Dave, remember our photo shoot? Great pictures, man.
Oh yeah, and the view mastering has come such a long way, Mark, from those grainy pictures I shot. Now we shoot with actually this thing, and this thing shoots in 3D. It shoots the most beautiful pictures you'll ever see in your life.
Wow.
And we're very excited about. We have upcoming Viewmaster project after this one, because we're just ridiculous and we just keep thinking of things. So we're going to shoot with this. I can't believe how beautifully this shoots, and the rich palette of color with this baby. What's cool about this too is this actually, you can look at the picture in 3D without glasses.
Really?
This thing's badass. So what it does is it's got AI, be afraid. It's got AI technology. It sees your eyes and it polarizes two visions for your eyes as it's watching you. So when you look at this thing, it's like a holograph from Star Wars. It's crazy. Like, people freak out, and it actually will go with you. And this is where technology, man. And so when we're shooting, we can look right away at this and see in a big picture what our 3D field looks like and how it is for composition and for production, which is huge help, instead of trying to put it in something else or, look at it through something else to see how we did.
Right.
I hauled this thing around in Iceland and took stunning 3D pictures.
I can only imagine. My God.
Yeah. The technology is just mind-blowing and super fun. So, Mark, the next time we do that, you won't look so grainy and whatever. Cool. We got it, man. Okay.
The last time I did a tour on the set where I did in fact, I did it was Lou who's out there tonight, and myself, and then Steve, the three of us, and we had went around with the photographer and everything, and I can't remember his name. He was a good guy, and just taking all those shots. But wow, now I'm like, I'm stoked. I'm going to say it, because with everything that's coming down the pike and everything, having a really cool uniform, excellent camera.
Yeah. This is just because we're on this roll of making things. I want to show you something that's spooky. Okay?
Please.
All right. So
I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store here, a starship store.
I have a great life, man, and I'll tolerate it too, because there's some crazy stuff. But all right, so I'm so obsessed with. I have a huge collection of Star Trek class. James and I rival each other with our collection, two of us, and I love helping him find things he hasn't found, and he helps me find things too. But I'm obsessed with that Trina glass long before we knew what it was. Mm-hmm. I just wanted one, and I wanted to mass produce one before I ever found one. And so what we did was, I have a CAD person, and I showed her what we do when we're getting things made on the set, how we study photo after photo. And she and I took an excruciating amount of time to try to recreate the Trina glass without ever finding one, right? Mm-hmm. And then I 3D printed it, and this is that. And then this is the real one.
Wow.
And that's how goddamn close we got. Okay.
It's like the same.
Yeah, the little bit bigger on the base.
Mm-hmm.
The height is perfect. Oops. I dropped the one.
No. God.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But I dropped the thing you can't drop. Look at this. Look, they're like twinsies. So the only thing we got was a little bit, like, the base was a little bit too big a deal.
Right.
And this thing is dead on. This is my recreation, but because we had the original, it's like dead on. I could pull out a real one, but they're so close. But yeah, so that's how close we got by photos.
Yeah. I mean, to be able to do that with photos is pretty amazing.
Yeah. And then have talented people. This gal is a very talented CAD person. It's just so fun to work with people who are so talented, and then go back and forth. And at first she was like, if you come back to me with one more change, I'm gonna throw it at you. And she finally got it. She was like, no, you really mean it when you want to dial this in, and it's got to be perfect. I surrender. And she's since worked on lots of other things, and she's like, I already know it's gonna be like a thing, and she's in it, and then she tries to help dial it in. But that's how close we got without having a real one.
Without having the real one, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Shari just commented. She said, "Totally love the geekiness going on. Lots of laughs."
It is ridiculous. I mean, and
I'm in my element with this stuff. I love this stuff.
Yeah. You absolutely go into the well very far, and I love it. Yeah, it's amazing. We all have our like version of it that we do.
Is that a transporter shower curtain I see in the back there?
Yeah, over there. Totally. Yeah.
That's
Because
awesome.
that covers. There's like a lot of stuff in that closet. There's a lot of supplies, and they need to be hidden, or they would just frighten you. Yeah, but yeah, right. I mean, we have our fun stuff, and we go down the rabbit hole and really enjoy it. Right? It's super fun.
I think about this stuff, Dave, like when back when we were kids, and I remember going with my grandfather. It was like a ritual. On Sundays we would go bowling because my grandparents lived in Astoria, Queens, so we were like right outside of New Jersey. We were like 45 minutes away. So every Sunday when I was a kid, my parents it was my mom's parents. We'd go in and then hang out, have Sunday dinner. But before we did that, I would go bowling with my grandfather, and we'd have to walk about maybe a mile, go bowling, and then after that, sometimes we would stop at the it was a store called Genevieve's. It was almost like a I would ask them, I'd say, can we stop there? Because they had like a toy section, and what they had was, we were just talking about it, they had the Star Trek AMT model kits there, and that's where I got my first Enterprise. And also the exploration set. And
yes,
I remember when I got the exploration set, and because I've always been, when it comes to the communicator, it's like the communicator is like my favorite prop. I love the wand companies because it's, but then I see people like Mark's out there, Mark making the props that he does. John Long, I mean, he does his stuff. And it's amazing. Also, the Comlock from Space 1999, being such a Space 1999 fan. And when I got that AMT communicator, I was so disappointed because I was like, that's not what it looks like on the screen.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So
yep. Yeah, you're like, it's good that I don't think I thought those thoughts. I was just so damn happy to have it at the time. Yeah, this is funny. I've got there's stuff with this too. This one's not really. This is something else, but this is one made by Patrick Kane, and it's gorgeous.
Wow, look at that!
Such beautiful work, and really,
it's amazing. And I love the ones too. And I'm really geeking out here now. I'm being a total. There's some that you can flip, and it'll flip all the way back.
Yes,
because the pin's gone or something, and you would see it in a few episodes, and then there's the other ones where it'll stop. But I mean, it is just it's a piece of art. I love that thing. The community
downstairs, I have the other 9 variations,
nice.
All 10 on a shelf. And the 2 heroes, the Alpha
and the Beta,
lined up, and then the other 10, which I'm very fortunate to get. Patrick made all of them for me over time.
Wow.
And I love them, every single one, But yeah, those expedition sets. Did you see Brian Mix's larger size expedition set?
I did not.
Okay, you got to see it, because what he did was, I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
They are small for kids.
Right.
Took them and scaled them up to the right size.
Oh, how cool.
And then 3D printed them and made them. And they are unbelievable and quirky and fucked up and cool.
Oh, that's bomb.
All right. Censor. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
He's working. Oh, cool. Mark's working on an original AMT for James right now. That's really cool.
Very cool, Mark.
I mean, just to go to what we had when we were kids and do that, I think that's outstanding. Yeah.
That is. And Bill said Genevieve's was a drugstore chain in New York. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Henry said, yep, same here, Roy, same place. Yeah.
You got to see this set that Brian made.
Does he bring them up there, or does he have them at his
house?
He
does. And also, if you pull up his Facebook page, I think you can see the posts, but he has brought them up, and he should, because they are super fun.
That's so cool
to see them scaled up to size, and they're so wrong.
Yeah.
And yet, cool. But that's interesting, Mark, with the original, with an AMT. That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. We all built that model.
I was so bad at building models. I'm terrible. And it's a gift. And I mean, I would do it, but it never turned out. My big thing would be, it doesn't look like what was on the screen.
Right. Well, and it really was a precursor to the kind of prop work that I like to do, which I had no idea at the time because I was just a kid. Yeah. But I would always special effect them. So, I took the space station and, wired it up for lights, right? And then what I did was I took an Enterprise and a Klingon model, hung them from the ceiling, and then I dipped string in blacklight paint and glued it to where the phasers worked, and then ran them across each other. And then you turn on a blacklight, and it looked like they were fighting each other.
Oh, right? That's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was just hilarious stuff that, my model building was probably terrible, but my blacklight paint stringing was great, man.
That's so creative, though.
It was hysterical. It was good. Yeah, that stuff was great.
Bill said he destroyed a few AMT sets.
Right? And the space station came with this teeny Enterprise.
Yeah.
It was like this big, right? It was so cute, I still have mine somewhere here.
The K7. And I remember after a while, you couldn't get the exploration set. It was like it disappeared. I remember they had the Spock with was like a serpent. He's firing his phaser at the serpent. That was an AMT kit. They had the Galileo. They had K7, Space Station K7.
Yeah, and then they had the bridge set that you could get and put together. And the thing with the Enterprise is that thing was issued 1 million times. So there was like a lot of variations in it. And there's some website somewhere that has all the variations, but I have the first one somewhere, and it's funny because it has lights to light up the front of the nacelles and the dome.
Yep.
And you turned the front of it where the dish was, that turned to turn the battery on and off.
Oh, okay.
So you'd load the batteries in, and then you turn that front part of the main hull and turn it on and off. And that was the first edition. It had this, yeah. I have it somewhere in a box.
The boxes were different sizes too, weren't they? Bigger.
Yeah, that had this original artwork design on it with the original issue. I have one original issue, and I would love to build it because I kind of think it sucks that it's in a box. You just want to put it together. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. Like if you have it as a collectible, it's nice, but then if it's just in the box.
Yeah, I hate doing that. I like violating them. All these really expensive glassware downstairs, I like to get out and drink out of occasionally because and then not drop it, which is good.
Okay, don't drop
Mark says that the one he's doing is going to match the Trouble with Tribbles one. That's pretty freaking cool. Yeah,
that is cool.
Super fun. You'll do an amazing job with it. I'll look forward to it.
Yeah,
super definitely. Neat. I don't have those skills either. I butcher paint.
I love seeing his Jupiter 2s and his Eagles that he's done. Yeah. I mean, I can't say enough. It's excellent work. And
my Moonbase Alpha looked terrible. I remember. Okay. And
well, actually,
I loved it. What's that?
I don't know if Lou's still out there. He might not be out there now still, but that 44-inch Eagle that's there. Lou built that. Lou Place that he built that like over 40 years ago because he made a fan film for Space 1999, and he used that in the movie. But he did what what you were saying about building it from photographs and everything.
Yeah,
but,
that's outstanding. What a nice piece, man. That's gorgeous. How long is it? It's 40.
It's 44 inches.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Nope. Hey, Lou's still there.
Lou, I'm still here.
Lou, your work is amazing, and he gave that to me, and it's a treasure piece. So I can't say nothing about. Yeah.
I really value. Sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
That's what I value. Like that from Lou to you is the kind of things that I love in my collection from people who I know who are talented, who I get to have as friends or that I know, and I can have something that they made. I mean, it just, those are the ones that I really treasure. Yeah, they mean a lot.
That's priceless.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, super fun stuff, man. It's endless and just ridiculous.
I love talking about this stuff. This is great.
I do too. It's so fabulous. We gather here, a bunch of prop people come over to the house once a year, and we do that together, and then we really have a good time working on those things together, and it's fun, you know. And everybody has their skills that they bring to it, whatever they might be. You know, I'm not sure what mine are, but they're there.
You are amazing, Dave, with your skills. I mean, all you have to do just to get a taste of it, just go up to the set tour, and the things that you've helped create. My God, totally amazing.
Well, the Tantalus field is definitely one of my favorites. That's
yeah. By the way, Lou says he's drooling over that Viewmaster.
I love that. I love that. I did too. That's why I made it. It's super fun, man. So I'll tell you a funny story on the Tantalus device. So I made a prototype here. If we ever did this again, I could shoot from the basement from the Star Trek room, right? And there's a Tantalus prototype device on the wall. And there was a gal who I was with for a long time, who I was cutting this hole in the wall in the basement. We had just finished. And she walked downstairs and she looked at me and she was like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, and I explained it to her. I said, "I'm building this thing and it's going to be this Tantalus device and it kills people. And, you know, it's on this episode of Mirror Mirror." And, you know, and she just was like, "I can't believe we just finished this room. I can't believe you're doing this." And it was like the only place in the whole room where I could pull it off because the back was to the utility closet. Right. And she's like, "I'm going upstairs and I'm just not going to come down for like weeks because I just can't stand that you did this, but I'm fine with it." So then 3 weeks later, she comes down to the basement. I tell her to come down. I'm done. I want to show it to you. Okay. And she stands there and I hit the secret buttons and it goes up. And then it turns on and the monitor goes on and she's turned pale. She said, "I didn't think you'd really do it." And she's like, "It doesn't actually kill people, does it?" Tell me. You know, because then at that point she suspended all disbelief. And she was like, "I would actually believe you if you thought it, if you made it to it like
Bill just asked if she was the test subject.
Yeah, right. You know, she just didn't think I'd actually do it. It was hysterical. Right. Yeah, she got a little white pale right then. She was thinking I maybe really made one.
Oh my goodness.
That's great. She was good then. She's like, "All right, it covered up the hole. It looks good. Okay, whatever."
That was a great moment. Shari's been very patient with me because of this office has basically been converted. I mean, it's nothing like what you got there, but it's been converted into, you know,
all the things. I love the things. Another eagle.
Another eagle. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a film on that to talk about, and then just a little bit. Like I said, I could get lost in your cave there.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky that, you know, I had a room to play with downstairs, and then I have this room. So, yeah, you can get a little out of hand, but it's nothing like the whole set over there. It's just like a little version, you know. But it's fun doing this stuff at home and having a little space to yourself to geek out like what you've got too. And having things like that from Lou, that's very cool. What's behind you. I love that. You know, that's super cool. So what are you doing? You're doing something with the one to your right? It's probably your right, my left.
My right. That's all done. And yeah, I'm going to be doing I'm actually making a video about it. So I'll be sharing it. It's for the 50th anniversary of Space 1999, year 2. So it's a video that I'm putting together. So it's not quite there yet, but it's in the works. So
cool. Very cool.
But love the Eagle. Big fan of the Eagle. The Enterprise, the Eagle, the Jupiter 2 from Lost in Space. Those are my favorites. The Millennium Falcon too. It rates. I mean, I'm a Star Wars fan, but those shows are the ones that are at the top of my list.
Or like UFO stuff that might be
UFO. How cool! The mobile.
Yeah, flips out. Oh my god, I love this as a kid with the missile you could shoot out.
Yeah,
we were always using that damn missile, man. It was great.
The other thing too is do you remember, since we're talking about all this nostalgia stuff, do you remember the Eagle from 1999 that Mattel released in 1976?
Yes.
It was the playset. So Giant Leap Toys and Zyka Toys worked together, and what they did was they're doing a special release of they're calling it Eagle 1976. There was a pre-order that was done. I actually had Tim and Craig on the show about a year and a half ago to talk about it. But anyway, it's going to be released next month. They did the actual Eagle. They did like a revamp of it where they souped it up to be, like literally 50 years later of the Mattel Eagle. But they're also doing one that's like a retro Mattel Eagle from back in 76. And they're also doing the it's what do they call it? It's the Green Eagle that used to be and I'm forgetting what they call it because I wasn't into the Green Eagles, but they're doing that as well too.
Right. Yeah. That's
so
cool.
It's pretty cool. I don't know. This stuff is amazing.
It is. Joe Bridenstine and his Eagle that he worked on for like 3 years is stunning, Yeah. And when I finally got to see, the funny thing with that guy is he's a master, but he doesn't hardly exhibit it anywhere. So you have to be like, oh, I came to his house and happened to go in his basement. And then you see this like handcrafted Eagle from the gods that he's been working on for years,
Wow.
And you're like, dude, what do you think? Maybe we should take this somewhere where people can see it? No. I'm too afraid it'll break. We got to keep it here. And I'm like, people want to see it, man.
I could hear Indiana Jones saying it. It belongs in a museum.
Right? Yeah. He's got a moon bus from 2001. The same thing. He worked on it for years. It's gorgeous, and
that's awesome.
He's afraid to move it. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, the Dinky Eagle. I couldn't think of what it was called.
Yes,
thanks,
right.
Thanks,
Green
Randy.
Dinky. Yeah.
The
metal glass. This is a Dinky.
I love them. I just never was into them, but
Yeah, well, they had the green interceptor from UFO too. It was the same kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And so it was the. Do I have one here? Oh, I don't have the green one handy, but I have. There's a guy in England who paints them white.
There you go.
Yeah, who repaints them the right color, but this is the green one, masquerading as a white one.
There you go.
The green ones, which were ridiculous. It was the same kind of thing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What episode was that in?
Right. Yeah, it's like that wasn't on the screen.
Dinky Enterprise. But I loved these things, and they were so fun to play with when we were kids. They were great.
Henry said I had the Dinky Enterprise with the orange shuttlecraft.
Oh, yeah. That's great. I love it.
And Randy said I can remember toys from the late 70s, but can't tell you how. But I can't tell you who I had lunch with.
That's right, because that didn't matter as much as that toy. That's right.
Boy.
Yeah. If only we still had all that stuff, and a lot of it you end up not still having. Some people do. I don't. I had to re-find them.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, man.
Well, this has been great, Dave. I'm gonna put it in the chat again, just to remind folks, in regards to the Kickstarter, that will be tomorrow. That's happening at noon.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
And that's Eastern Standard Time. And it is out there. So just please check that out. And oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say this whole project. I mean, again, all the folks that are involved with this is amazing, and thank you for sharing all the information, Dave. And it's a very special time for Star Trek. It really is.
Really happy for James, and I couldn't ask for a better partner with Brian. And I really appreciate your time. And also, I had a damn fine time geeking out with you here. Okay.
Oh, awesome! I appreciate that. I had a blast, and I can't believe we've been going 2 hours and 22
Yeah,
minutes.
sorry about that. Bad.
No, I'm fine. The shows usually go like 2 hours, and I didn't want to hold you up, so I'm totally cool with it as long as you're cool with it. This has been a blast.
This was fun. I got to you're in my little project room. I got to show you some stuff and talk about a few things. It was exciting. Plus, also I enjoy hanging with you anyway. We need to do this outside of here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I'll definitely connect with you over over the weekend or in the next few days.
I would love that. And sorry.
No, go ahead.
I talk too much. Everybody who's out there and a lot of people that I know love you guys and thank you for any help spreading with the Kickstarter for this whole thing. We're all Galileo fans. That's why Brian and I are doing it. And a lot of other people are doing it. We're fans, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, just please share on Facebook, share on YouTube. Just all you have to do is one share and the shares will multiply. It's the one great thing about social media. That's the pluses and the perks of it. So it's
if everybody just does a couple, that's all we need. It'll just spread right out. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Henry said thanks
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
have to get on that. In fact, when I get off here, I probably got to do a little swing of posting so that I keep this nursing along, and then try to I do have wedding night jitters. I'm like, you guys are gonna see it all at noon tomorrow, and it's been a lot of work. And wow, yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. If I can
say, everybody, live long and prosper. And just hang out with Dave. Don't go anywhere. And actually, I can do it with both hands. There we go.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. And remember, David Frankham, this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He will be joining us for his 100th birthday. And thanks, everyone.
That's outstanding.
Thanks, MB. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Lou. Thanks, Bill.